Right, hello guys, welcome back for another video. So today I thought a great way to round off the year would be a giveaway for you guys. Now this giveaway is, yes, Warhammer 40k related, and there are going to be 3 winners for this giveaway, so listen on for the details. Now recently I rediscovered my own old 40k 2nd edition books as I was searching for some information that I wanted to check up on, and this edition of 40k was released way back in 1993, that's 25 years ago, scarily. Now this was the very first Warhammer 40k game that I played, and I was filled with nostalgia when I checked out these books. I decided that it could be great fun to get one of these box sets as a bit of a retro giveaway. So I managed to secure a box of this Retro 40k which has all of its books, and even better, it has all of the original associated extra mini books to go with it, which you don't always see in these boxes, things like the Armageddon campaign, painting guides, etc. It also has all the original cardboard ruined terrain, and many of the battlefield templates haven't even been removed from that original card frames, so a lot of it is in mint condition. Although when I was checking it out, they are a bit fragile in the cardboard frames, so if you remove them from the box roughly, they're probably going to come loose because the perforations, I guess, have just become tired over time, so watch out for that if you're wanting to keep it mint, but I hope you want to actually just play with it. Now obviously this is not, and I want to repeat for the sake of that, not a current edition of 40k, okay? It's an old edition, so the rules and so on are not up to date. And I just thought, though, it would be fun. I just thought that, you know, despite that, does it mean you can't play with it? Of course it doesn't. If you have a friend and you want to play this game, the box has got everything that you need. The dice, the templates, the rules, the associated unit data, so it's got everything you need. And this game is just as fun as the modern current 40k rules. In fact, I'm probably going to get my old setup, look at the old rules, and get my brother or a friend over and play some games of 40k. Now the models themselves are very much the old school 40k models. Most of the Marines are stock, and the same goes for the Orcs in this set. And I will say, unfortunately, the person that I bought this off of seems to have made the decision to glue the, say, bolters and the backpacks onto the Marines, and so those are glued on, which is a bit irritating when it comes to painting it, but it just is what it is. But none of them are broken and all the bits are there. Now when it comes to minis, these were the days where only usually your white metal characters had individual poses. Most of the units were just as they are, and nowadays happily all units in 40k minis have a lot of options to customize, and with some conversion skills you can adapt them very easily to suit your own requirements. Again though, this giveaway is just a bit of nostalgic fun, and in the future maybe I can get around to doing some more current giveaways that you guys can enjoy. And it was just awesome actually to just look back at this edition and remember opening it up and being really excited for the first time I was finally going to get to play this game as a kid. And this box set as well has got tons of original and really fantastic artwork throughout the books and the box itself. It's really great to look back at how things have changed in the style and design of the game. Now this box set comes with a large selection of cardboard ruins, which with a little reworking can actually be turned into more atmospheric terrain. If you say grab some flat cardboard or polystyrene to use as a base, you can use a bit of textured paint, some rough sand and gravel, and you can make it easily look much more like actual ruins. And I should probably at some point get out all of my old terrain that I made as a kid back in the day, showcase it for you guys and explain how I made that. And I've honestly wanted to do a few videos where I can show some painting and just show how to make quick and easy terrain, because I actually find making some terrain things a lot more fun, like making real small little mini pieces of terrain, not huge pieces. I find that really enjoyable, but I simply haven't had the time. So maybe this is something I can do in the new year, as well as just a bit of fun, change up the content that I can inject to the channel here and there. So in addition to this main box set, I thought what would be a good idea is to include obviously the things that you're going to need to paint up the models, as likely whoever wins this could never have played or done any minis before. So I'm going to include with the main box a Citadel Essentials kit, and this will give you some paints, brushes and tools to paint up your minis. I also thought it would be fun to do a couple of runner-up gifts, as this is after all the end of 2018, and I wanted to say a big thanks to you guys for your support this year. So for 2 runners-up, I will send out each one Intercessor paint set. And this is a much more current set as it contains 3 Primaris Marines, paints and a brush for painting them up. So if you want to win either the main prize or one of these runner-up paint sets, then you can do so by entering my Gleam link down below. As always, you've got multiple ways to win, and the more entries you make, the more chance you have for winning. And I'll likely continue with various giveaways throughout 2019, so if you follow me on any of my channels or media, this will give you further qualifying entries for future giveaways when those come around. Now the winners of this giveaway will be announced on Christmas Eve, that's 24th of December, via my YouTube community tab. I use this more and more lately to communicate with you guys, and this interaction helps me and it also helps the channel there. So even if you're not big for playing the tabletop game, this is a great box for just appreciating the art and design of this older style of 40k. A lot of the artwork throughout the rule, war gear and codex books are great to look back through. It includes some of the very best illustrations and artwork for 40k that are still used in modern 40k codexes and rulebooks. And while not all of the information in the books for this edition is canon, surprisingly much of it is. I had a good browse through and a very large amount of the stuff here still applies, in both information about specific war gear as well as the lore and history. And obviously there's elements which are now no longer correct, like for example the diagram illustrating the way the Imperium is organised, and other details like of course your friends and mine, the squats. The squats were quite obviously meant to be space dwarves, just as the Eldar are space elves and the orcs are, well, space orcs, which amusingly in this second edition, the box even refers to them as space orcs. So this 40k box set, it's a great piece of history when Warhammer 40,000 had not quite detached itself completely from its fantasy counterpart, and was still very much a space translation of the fantasy Warhammer, and it's why when you look at some of the art and so on, it still looks like it could be fantasy related. In the Codex book, for example, it has a listing for Beastmen as part of the Chaos Forces, and the Beastmen are a really interesting part of the development of 40k because they were in the original Rogue Trader 1st edition, and they were really part of the direct translation of Warhammer Fantasy stuff into 40k in the more kind of space world of 40k. But then as Warhammer 40,000 went along and Games Workshop wanted to make it more of its own entity, more of a separated thing, some of these fantasy roots didn't really fit anymore, and that's why they basically removed Beastmen out of the game and also the squats, because that was, like I say, the space dwarves. However, unlike the squats, Games Workshop has looked to bring Beastmen back into Warhammer 40,000, and they've kind of like bled them back in through the 6th and the 7th edition. So the Beastmen are now kind of something called the Zangors. These are basically part of the Thousand Suns army list, that's the Tzeentch. And the Zangors of Tzeentch are very much, that's a mouthful, Zangors of Tzeentch, are very much a kind of inspiration from the Beastmen. Now they're kind of like blue demons with horns, and they definitely have a Beastman-like appearance, but they're much more proper kind of 40k demonic entities. But as I've said before, I think there's an argument to be made whenever it comes to different races and 40k that you can use your own inspiration, because there's a lot of things out there which still haven't been discovered or have been lost or whatever, and so, you know, within your own guidelines you can come up with whatever you want to, and there's very much you could have Beastmen for different chaotic entities or have been warped and adapted by chaos. So again, this is just an interesting aside to note. This is how the kind of 40k development goes along. Things are only canon until they're not, and they could come back and change at any time. Now lastly, the box set itself comes with plenty of minis, as the current one in the modern day does, but this one comes with 2 squads of Space Marines that can be painted up with whatever chapter colours you want. There's actually an original painting guide in the box as well, so if you've never painted before, you can check that for reference. It also has a contingent of Space Orcs and Gretchen, as well as having a cardboard Orc Dreadnought. Whenever you're painting, my top tip, and pretty much I guess the golden rule for all mini painters that will give you, is keep your painting thin. You very much want to build up layers when you're painting, so if you're going with thick paint or a thick undercoat layer, you're just going to obliterate the detail on the model and it's going to look terrible. So whenever painting, use a little bit of water, thin down your painting, and then build up the layers. I'd actually considered painting up this force for the winner of the giveaway, but if I did so, I would do it in a very simplistic fashion. It probably wouldn't take me that long to do. But then I thought also, you know, whoever wins this, they might want to choose their own Marine chapter and their Orc clan, so I decided to leave that for you guys to choose that one. And worth mentioning, a lot of these models haven't been cleaned up as well in terms of the actual plastic bindings and stuff, so you're going to need to get a scalpel and a little emery board and just tidy those up a little bit before you start your painting, so that again, it doesn't look terrible. So I'll just round things off and say, as always, a big thanks to all of you who have supported me and the channel this year. That's all of you guys on my Patreon page, my Twitch subscribers and supporters, and of course all of you here on YouTube. As I've said so many times, if you enjoy something, the best way to support that thing is by simply interacting with it, by leaving a comment, liking a video, and you might not feel that this has a big impact, but it really does. Every comment and like on a video helps YouTube recommend my content to others, so by getting involved on each video, you guys are literally helping support me and my channel to grow, and you make what I do more secure every time you do that. So big thanks to all of you guys. This year has been awesome, been difficult at times for sure for me, but at the end of this year I feel really positive going into 2019. Now I have plenty of plans for the new year already, and with your support I think it's going to be a good one. My one wish is that I had more hours in the day. It surprises still even me how long sometimes editing can take when I've been sitting here for like 10 hours, 12 hours, and I'm like, oh my god, I've only done a third of this video. It's astonishing how long it can take. And I think sometimes people don't appreciate how much time editing takes. It's really weird, it's just a massive time sink. But I always do my best to get that content out for you guys as soon as I can, and your support this year has made it very, very worthwhile. So next year we're going to have more lore. I'll expand, I hope, with other lore as well beyond 40k, like I suggested previously, like say the Umbrella Corps, Mad Max stuff, Babylon 5. I want to do some more diorama dives as well, where we look at top tier dioramas, and I hope to of course keep gaming content in the mix as well with Below the Line, and looks at new games or ongoing updates with things like Battlefield, Postscriptum, Squad, give you guys my objective breakdowns as I always do. And it's clear that my channel has changed and is still changing a little in its direction, but you guys have made it clear to me the content that you enjoy from me, and I'm listening to you on that front. Now just a reminder as well, if you want to come chat, hang out with my community, remember I live stream currently 4 times a week on Monday, Wednesday, Friday and Sundays on twitch.tv/Luetin, as close to the live time as I can. I always try. And I hope you guys have a fantastic Christmas and look forward to smashing out some new content throughout the new year. So as always guys, I'll see you in the next one.